This is breaking news.
The saddest Squid Game deaths. Hundreds of people die in each season of Squid Game, yet some of these deaths are a lot more tragic than others. Whether due to the circumstances that lead to the characters competing in the games or the moments leading up to their untimely demise, the deaths of certain characters can really tug on the viewer's heartstrings. Some people are made for the Squid Games. Others, like the players listed here, simply aren't suited for the challenge. The saddest deaths in Squid Game typically belong to fan-favorite characters, but there are one or two minor characters whose deaths manage to hit almost as hard. Some are betrayed by the people closest to them, while others lay down their lives so that others can survive a little longer. As a result, many a tear has been shed as a result of their passing. Pretty much all of the saddest Squid Game deaths involve characters who have been heavily developed. Yet there's one big exception to this during the first season. Viewers never even get to learn player 069's name, nor do they really find out too much about him other than the fact that he and his wife are competing together in an attempt to clear their debt. The pair are successfully able to navigate the first 3 games by working together, but it's their decision to do so again in the 4th game that leads to both of their deaths. Player 069 beats his wife during marbles, yet, in doing so, he loses his will to live. Consumed by the guilt and the pain of his loss, player 069 ends up taking his own life, thus helping to emphasize the devastating emotional toll that a game like marbles can have on players. Like player 069's wife and so many others, player 240 met her end while playing marbles. Though rather than competing and losing, Ji-young opted to sacrifice herself so that Se-byok could survive. Although the latter's death a few episodes later makes this sacrifice somewhat pointless, it doesn't make it any less tragic. The most popular Squid Game characters tend to be developed over the course of multiple episodes, but pretty much all of Ji-young's character development can be found in the Season 1 episode Gambu. Her conversation with Se-byok does a lot to explain her personality and almost feels like a dying confession. As a result, when she thanks Se-byok for playing with her, it can be hard not to shed a tear. Most of the saddest deaths in Squid Game take place at the titular games. However, there are 1 or 2 hard-hitting deaths that happen back in the outside world, one of which belongs to Gi-hun's elderly mother, Oh Mul-soon. Viewers don't actually get to see her die, though her death happening off-screen arguably makes it more impactful. Mul-soon worked her fingers to the bone to survive and support an ungrateful son who stole money from her on a regular basis, causing her constant heartache and worries. When she eventually got sick due to complications from diabetes, Gi-hun was nowhere to be found, resulting in Oh Mul-soon dying alone with no idea what had happened to her son. In addition to hurting those who are closest to him, Gi-hun's addiction to gambling sees him borrowing large sums of money from a loan shark named Mr. Kim, and it's ultimately this debt that leads to his participation in the games. Being a loan shark, audiences are led to assume that Mr. Kim is a terrible person. Yet while this may be true to a certain extent, he's far from beyond redemption. In Season 2 of Squid Game, Gi-hun is shown to be working with Mr. Kim in the hopes of tracking down the recruiter. The latter is eventually successful, although is soon captured by the Dakchi-playing psychopath and forced to participate in a deadly 2-player game with one of his underlings, Choi Woo-seok. After panicking, Woo-seok ends up in a losing position. Yet Mr. Kim decides to sacrifice himself by intentionally getting disqualified, showing that there was some good in him after all. Due both to its faster pacing and there being 2 fewer episodes, Season 2 of Squid Game didn't have quite as many memorable characters as the one that preceded it. Technically, one of its best wasn't even a Season 2 character, as Park Jung-bo's first appearance actually came during the show's pilot episode, Red Light, Green Light, in which Jung-ba is shown to be one of Gi-hun's gambling buddies. Season 2 of Squid Game brought together an intriguing cast of characters, and these were the most interesting to watch on screen. This friendship is further explored throughout the show's second season,